We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
This episode is supported by FX's Clipped, the scandalous story of the 2014 Clippers owner's racist remarks captured on tape and heard around the world. The series charts the tape's impact on a dysfunctional basketball organization striving to win against their reputation as the most cursed team in the league. Starring Lawrence Fishburne, Jackie Weaver, Cleopatra Coleman, and Ed O'Neill. FX's Clipped, streaming June 4th, only on Hulu.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Welcome back, Ram fans. This is Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. That's fansfirstsports.com. You can also follow us on YouTube. Our channel is at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. You'll hear from my co-host, Tom, on occasion as well. Hey, we're not Rams insiders. We're just longtime fans who love talking about our Los Angeles Rams. Let's get to it. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 458 of Rams Up. No roundtable this week. Gang's getting a little burnt out, taking a break. We'll be back next week. I am going to get into another episode of Who's Pumped, Who's Pissed, Who's Perplexed, taking the pulse of fan bases across the NFL. Haven't done it in a couple months. Always fun to go through that. Before we do that, episode 458, let's talk about a Ram who wore number 58. The long history of our team, only 16 players have worn that number, several great linebackers, including Roman Pfeiffer. 6'2", 248 pounds, drafted out of UCLA in the second round, 31st pick overall in 1991, played for the Rams from 91 to 98, went on to play for the Jets, Patriots, and Giants, finished his NFL career with over 1,100 tackles, and yes, he did end up on the Patriots, and I was kind of happy for him. A little bit of a bummer. He was on that Patriot team that beat the Rams in the 2001 Super Bowl. Felt good for him, otherwise pretty horrible though. So Pfeiffer finished his Ram career with 696 tackles. His 598 solo tackles is third all-time for the Rams. So here's a trivia question for you. You probably won't be able to answer this. I certainly wouldn't have been able to. I stumbled across this while diving into Pfeiffer's career. James Laurinaitis is the Rams' all-time leading tackler. Pfeiffer is third. Who is number 2? Who is second on the Rams' all-time tackle list? Answer at the end of the episode. So let's get into our Who's Pumped, Who's Pissed, Who's Perplexed. talking about the fan bases across the NFL. Haven't done this since the draft, since OTAs started. Starting to get a feel for how some of these teams are doing, how some of these players are doing, how some of these fan bases are feeling about where their team is at. And I'll start out with who's pumped. I think the Eagles fan base has to be pumped strictly about Saquon Barkley and the way he is fitting in and starting to lead that team, getting really good vibes out of Philadelphia. Must be driving Giants fans crazy, which just pumps up that Eagles fan base even more. I have my concerns about the Eagles this year, but they got to be pumped about Barkley. And sticking to the NFC East, I think the Washington Commanders fan base is starting to feel pretty pumped about Jaden Daniels. Taking a leadership role as a rookie there. They seem to be pretty pumped, stoked about Jaden Daniels and where he is right now. Commanders have a long way to go, but getting a quarterback like that in the room, a step in the right direction. Now, another fan base that might be sneaky pumped, and that's the Titans fan base. You know, I just have a feeling Will Levis is the real deal. He has been throwing darts all over the field, completing a high percentage, getting all his receivers involved. And I know it's just camp, but, you know, he's probably the one quarterback we've forgotten about. We got all these rookies, some second-year guys coming back, some seasoned veterans across the league. I think if you ask a bunch of random fans to name all the quarterbacks in the NFL, he would be the one guy people would leave out. And I just have a feeling he's going to be pretty good. And the Houston Texans fan base, hey, this team, their arrow is pointing up. They've been pumped since the beginning of last year, and they are feeling even more pumped. That team is going to be really good this year. And maybe I've told you this already. I'm predicting a Rams-Texans Super Bowl. Texans fan base is really pumped. And I think the Patriots fan base might be feeling a little bit better about Drake May. I know our roundtable guys do not think highly of this young quarterback, and they could be right. But you know what? It's certainly an improvement over what the Patriots have been rolling with since Tom Brady left, really, right? So the Patriots, another team that have a long way to go, but I have a feeling they're a little bit pumped about the potential of Drake May, and I could be proven wrong. We could all be proven wrong, but that doesn't mean their fan base isn't a little pumped. You know, this time of year, I think there's only one fan base that's truly pissed, and that is the Carolina Panthers fan base. This team, man, it could be a long year. It could be a long couple of years trying to recover from that move to get Bryce Young. And Bryce Young could be okay. Hey, maybe he'll bounce back. Maybe he'll have a really good year, start proving himself to be an NFL caliber, dare I say, franchise quarterback. But it's a long ways off at this point. Panthers fans were pissed last year watching C.J. Stroud excel like he did. They were pissed watching the Bears make the first pick of the draft on their behalf in 2024. I think they're going to stay pissed.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Now, are there a few fan bases that are perplexed? Yeah, there absolutely is. I'll start with the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams, number 1 pick in the draft. First reports were he looked stellar. Second and third reports, not so much. So they may be a little bit concerned. And I'm going to tell you, if you're a Chicago Bear fan and you're perplexed and you're concerned about Caleb Williams, chill. He's going to be fine. And the Minnesota Vikings fan base probably feels the same about J.J. McCarthy. I heard he threw 7 interceptions in a row in one training session. That is scary. And I don't care what else happens the rest of OTAs. You got to be a little perplexed by that performance. And of course, the Atlanta Falcons fan base. I've talked about this a little bit, but they have to be perplexed. Signing Kirk Cousins and then drafting Michael Penix that high, overlooking some other guys. Got to be excited, pumped about having Michael Penix in the camp and ready to go in, 2026. And the Cincinnati Bengals fan base has to be a little perplexed. 2 other top players holding out, T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson. And I know the leadership there is kind of waving it off. Don't worry, we got this under control. I know as a fan, you're going to be perplexed regardless of what the coach says. And of course, the 49er fan base. A couple of days ago, they were trying to re-sign Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings. And this is after Amon St. Brown signed a $120 million contract, kind of backed the 49ers into a corner as far as Ayuk goes. And then there's Jennings sitting there, basically their number 3 receiver. Well, they did sign Jennings, $10.5 million over 2 years, guaranteed. What does that mean as a fan base? You got to be a little perplexed. Are they still going to have the money to pay Ayuk? I know $10.5 million isn't that much by NFL salary cap standards, but the 49ers don't have a lot to play with in the first place. Is this a message that maybe, are they going to move Ayuk? Are they still going to be able to sign him? Who knows? I don't have the answer, but if I'm a 49er fan, I'm perplexed and I'm concerned about the future of this receiving core. Maybe we'll hear good news, at least from a 49ers perspective, in the next few days. I don't know, though. 49er fan base is perplexed. And the most perplexed fan base is that fan base whose team is coming off a big Super Bowl win, the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, is there a lot going on there since that Super Bowl win? Their PR department working overtime. Receiver Rashee Rice arrested for his role in a car crash. Several people got hurt. A couple players arrested for misdemeanor possession of marijuana. You know what? Be honest with you, I don't really care about that, and most of us should not. Defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs facing 2 warrants for second-degree cruelty to dogs. Now, that's a surefire way to turn a fan base against you as a player, not necessarily the team. Not a good look. And then Harrison Butker's comments. Not going to get into the right or wrong or how I feel about it. But, there's a high percentage of that fan base that is perplexed. And that front office and a lot of those players are just wishing it would all go away. So a fan base that is perplexed about the off-field stuff going on with their Kansas City Chiefs. And before I get to my trivia question answer, I wanted to revisit a pet peeve. It resurfaced again. It wasn't a big deal. San Francisco Giants pitcher coming inside to Bryce Harper set off a little bit of a dust up, and the announcers immediately commenting, and they were probably right, that wasn't a purpose pitch. Bases were loaded early in the game. They're not going to try to hit him. And I've said this many times, it doesn't matter. The intent is not the issue here. If you decide to come inside against my best player, you better be careful. If we retaliate, it's not because we thought you were purposely trying to hit our best player. It's because you were being a little careless, and just be more careful moving forward. I wish Don Drysdale was around to back me up on this one. And the answer to my trivia question, the leading tackler in Rams history, everybody does that, James Laurinaitis, and I shared that number 3. Roman Pfeiffer, who was number 2, and this surprised me, cornerback Todd Light. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.